If the Eurovision 2025 season gets remembered by anything, it will be the number of withdrawals and disqualifications from different national selections that have happened. Typically, I wouldn't say that number is too high, but this year... This year, by the end of January, we are at 36 and still counting. So, as a person with too much free time and too big of a screen time, I decided to make it my duty to tell you about every single one of these situations. Now, before we get started, I do have to say something. Basically, some of these withdrawals and disqualifications don't have stories attached to them, or at least stories that we would know. I researched as much as I could, but some of them we simply just don't know anything about. But other situations, let's just say that we have plenty of tea on.
Clock that tea. Clock it. Clock that tea. Clock it. Clock that.
So let's do it. Strap in. Get some coffee, get some tea, sit comfortably, and enjoy me yapping about withdrawals and disqualifications from Eurovision this year.
Slay! Slay! These guys.
Also, make sure to stick around till the end because I have the most insane story saved for the ending of the video.
Show me to me, please. Send it to me, Rachel.
It was literally seen in Ohio.
Please send it.
Really quick, before we get into it, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and you can also follow me on all of my socials, the links to which I'm gonna put in the description box below. We are gonna be starting with Montenegro. The returning country had two of these situations. The first one was Boban Rajovic with his song Suze. He withdrew due to personal reasons, and that's literally all we know. His song is available to stream though. He was replaced in the lineup by Tamara Žižković with her song Pogumon Let. She ended up placing 9th in the selection and honestly was kind of robbed in my opinion. The first one didn't have much of a story to it, but this next one was probably the first big drama of the year. Time to talk about Neonoen. The band entered the national final with their song Clickbait and won it, somehow, by placing second with both the juries and the televote. Their win was pretty controversial. The song was last in the odds. Many people really disliked it. But that wasn't the most controversial thing about the win. Literally 2 days later, it was revealed that the band had performed their song in 2023 at Festival Kultury Zabielo. This broke the so-called September 1st rule. Basically, if you're applying for Eurovision or if you're applying for any national final in any country, you cannot have performed your song or made it available to stream in any form before September the 1st of that Eurovision year. This rule is going to be relevant a couple times in this video, so keep it in mind. The interesting thing about this is that breaking this rule doesn't warrant a disqualification. Same thing happened to Jamala, who won in 2016 for Ukraine. Last year, Aiko from Czechia had a similar scandal, but in this situation, it became very clear that the Montenegrin broadcaster was not playing around. They announced that they would investigate, and a few days later, before a decision was made public, Neonoen voluntarily withdrew from the contest. My presumption is that they probably just saw how it was going and decided to remove themselves from the drama. And instead of them, Nina Zizic went to Eurovision with her song Dobro Došli. And honestly, I think it was for the better.
And clap!
Wow, I mean, who would have thought that such a small country could cause this amount of chaos? Well, let's travel a little bit south to Montenegro's neighbor for our quick stop in Albania. Olsi Beluku was meant to perform his song Tupanet in their national final, but withdrew due to personal reasons. He was replaced by Klejadina with her song Dashvrindje. She failed to qualify to the final of the show, and that's literally all there is about the story. Let's move on to the Baltics, shall we? For the next country, we're going to be visiting Lithuania, and they had two separate situations like this. First was Ewelina Gancewska, who is actually pretty well known in Poland. She got disqualified for a very interesting reason. She signed up for two different national finals, which broke the rules of the Lithuania national final Eurovizja LT. The other national final she signed up for was Dora in Croatia. The funny thing is, she got put through to each of these national selections, meaning that she made the lineup of both Eurovision and Dora. So whatever song she had, clearly it was pretty good for two separate broadcasters to deem it worthy of having it in the show. But at last, Evelina did not perform at any of these national finals, and instead she was replaced in Eurovision by Osteja Lukaite. And the funny thing here is her replacement also withdrew, meaning that Evelina's replacement also didn't perform in the show. Osteja unfortunately caught a flu and couldn't perform as a result, and she was not replaced. Since we're in the Baltics, we might as well head on over to Latvia, where we had one withdrawal. Greta was scheduled to perform in Supernova with her song Monster. And many people had high hopes for her. She was one of the fan favorites for sure. And unfortunately, she also got sick and had to withdraw as a result. When this news broke, my entire Twitter timeline was just people mourning this loss and hoping for her to come back next year. And listen, I would gladly welcome her again to the lineup. I think she has a lot of potential. Wow, a lot of flus and colds in the Baltics. Maybe we should go, I don't know, somewhere warmer, like Malta, for example. The island country had to disqualify Alexandra Alden with her song Magnolia. Remember why Leonoen from Montenegro got disqualified? Yeah, so basically the same thing happened here. The Maltese broadcaster had made a rule that none of the competing songs should be published anywhere before the official release, scheduled for November 30th. However, Alexandra's song was already published and she got disqualified.
Why have you forsaken me? Why have you forsaken me?
Mentioning Montenegro reminded me that we still have a few situations to discuss when it comes to the Balkans. So I guess we should head on over to those regions again. Let's start with Croatia. First, Lara and LSQ withdrew from Dora. Their song was called Mama and no further reasons were given. For their withdrawal, they were replaced by the band Swingers with their song Full Cool. The next one though. Ooh, this was a funny day to be on Twitter. Natalie Bolmex was disqualified from Dora with her song Život ide dalej for making too many changes to her entry. The delegation found the old and the new versions of the song to be too different from each other and decided to remove Natalie from the lineup, replacing her with Fengsta. But Natalie did not go down without a fight. She took to her personal Instagram account and wrote, "My legal team read the rulebook and nowhere could they find any percentage that would determine if a song is too altered. We refined the song in order to make it as high quality as possible and make it as good as possible at this year's Dora and potentially at Eurovision." This statement did not restore her place in Dora. Natalie ended up putting her song on streaming services the next day and it really divided the fandom. Some people thought it was for the better that she wouldn't perform at the show, while some people thought she would have conquered Eurovision with it. But in the end, Natalie did not compete for a chance at a Eurovision participation. Croatia's neighbor Serbia also caused some drama. First, a band, Boots Kennedy, got disqualified for performing their song Tužne ljubavi in public before September the 1st. They got replaced by Marsali with their song Po policajna setanja. So basically, yeah, another Leonoen scenario. And if one of these situations wasn't enough, Serbia got hit with another pre-September 1st performance, this time from the band Dram with their song Vanja. They ended up getting replaced by Lena Nikolic-Lenci with the song Hvala ti. So to summarize, Serbia got hit not only by a messy national final, which I talked in my previous video on this channel, but also two pre-September 1st performances. Okay, this next one. I'm gonna put a trigger warning on this for inappropriate behaviors towards minors, because unfortunately we do have to talk about Finland. Feel free to skip to this timestamp if these topics trigger you. Done? Okay. One Morning Left was scheduled to perform in UMK their song Puppy. Their entry was really polarizing. Some people really liked it. Others really, really hated it. This was probably one of the most polarizing songs of Eurovision 2025 season. And then the news came out that one of the members of the band was accused of grooming and inappropriate conversations with minors from 2007 to 2010. And as a result, they were not only removed from the UMK, but they also disbanded. They did not get replaced. This is an absolutely horrible situation, and my heart goes out to the victims of this member. I think that their removal was the right thing to do, and I think that UMK as a national final got better thanks to that. Now, we're gonna go on a bit of a journey to Ukraine with a slightly more lighthearted one. Teslenko was appointed to the Withdrawal wildcard, which I already complained in my previous video about. And the funny thing is, he decided to withdraw, and literally, I think like the same day, he was seen on a San Marino Song Contest audition schedule.
I am Jasmine Masters, and I have something to say. RuPaul's Drag Race has fucked up drag. Bottom line, cut and dry.
His song was called Storm, and it actually made it to the final of San Marino Song Contest, placing third. It sounded like this. So basically, Teslenko just saw how it was going. He was like, I am not winning this wild card, and just went to San Marino and nearly won the whole thing.
You ate that.
Speaking of San Marino, let's all give a big round of applause for the country that had the most withdrawals of any Eurovision country this year.
And clap.
But I mean, that's kind of expected when you have like 180 semi-finalists. So we'll do a quick speed round here, and I'll tell you the names of the withdrawn acts. Most of them we know nothing about. There are a few though that have bigger stories attached to them. So Alice Ray, Barak, Dima, Adaskat, Carlota, Emhart, Anandom, Madalena, Magadan, Nina Biom, Nexus, Electrokarma, Geronima Rauch, Atle Petersen, Mathilde, and Nush Ambrasht. That's a weird name. These all I was not able to find anything about. Now, time for the two acts that I mentioned in the beginning that I do have some stories on. Serafin Zubiri withdrew from the contest due to a professional obligation. He asked to be moved to a different semi-final, but then the San Marinese broadcaster refused, and Serafin decided to just withdraw altogether. Aside from that, fun fact, he is actually a previous Eurovision contestant. He represented Spain in 1992 and the year 2000. It would have been really interesting to see what he had cooking. The other withdrawal from this national final honestly really hurt me.
I'm so happy. I'm very unhappy.
Grizana was scheduled to perform her song Kohane in this national final. She was previously admitted to the Withdrawal wildcard, same as Teslenko. Her song immediately blew up in the fandom. She received this kind of like almost cult following. We all loved it, but unfortunately it did not come close to winning the wildcard vote, so it was not in Withdrawal. Instead, Grizana applied for San Marino and made it to the semifinals. Shortly after, she posted the statement on Instagram where she explained that the problem lied with resources and having to be at the national final in person. This was honestly such a sad day, but Kohane is still a banger, and I do really hope to see Grizana next year in Withdrawal. Well, that's a wrap on San Marino, but we still do have some countries to go over. Next, we're gonna do a quick stop in Greece where Salina Gavala was disqualified. She was meant to be performing with an artist named Tsiak, but decided to reveal the title of her song before the official reveal and got disqualified for that. The song was titled Ta Mato Ngapo, and it's something like this. This is honestly a bit of an unserious reason to disqualify somebody. Like, she just said her song title. I don't think that's revealing too much, but Honestly, I'm not the broadcaster. Maybe she committed like a heinous crime because she did that. I guess she broke the rules, so she got disqualified for it. From Greece, we move on to my country, Poland. We had one withdrawal in the form of Sarah James, who previously came second in Junior Eurovision for Poland in 2021. She entered the selection with her song Tiny Heart. Apparently wanted to change the song shortly before the artist reveal. TVP didn't allow her to do that, so she just withdrew. I was personally kind of bummed about this. I really want to see her get a shot at adult Eurovision one day, and I hope she gets it next year. 3 countries left, and next up we have Norway. Right before we got the artists for Melody Grand Prix, 2 of them chose to withdraw. The first one was Lavrans. He's a singer most known for his incredible performances on The Voice of Norway. I was really excited to see him in the lineup. I am a big fan of his, but unfortunately he chose to withdraw, and it really broke my heart. I really hope to see him again in that national final. As for the reasons for his withdrawal, we don't know anything. He just left, and I'm really sad about that. The next person is Angelina Jordan, and her story is much sadder and also a little confusing at times. She withdrew, and reportedly it was because of the LA fires that started on January 7th. That's because Angelina lives in Los Angeles. That is obviously awful, and I don't think there is a discussion to be had about that. But there are some weird irregularities about this withdrawal. The email communicating the withdrawal was reportedly sent on January 6th, whilst the fires didn't start until January 7th. The explanations given by Angelina's lawyers were also different to the ones that were given to the media. NRK, the Norwegian broadcaster, decided to file a claim for compensation. They asked for 131,250 Norwegian crowns, which seems to be a lot, although I am not too versed on different currencies around the world. The Norwegian head of delegation expressed no malicious intent with this, as they stated that they hope to be able to work with Angelina in the future. So yeah, this was a little weird. Just 2 more countries left, and next we're gonna visit Italy for one of the craziest situations of the year. While the withdrawal curse was unraveling, there were 3 national finals that I thought were gonna remain completely untouched. Those being UMK in Finland, Melodifestivalen in Sweden, and Sanremo in Italy. And safe to say, I only guessed one of them right. Melfest remained untouched, and the curse struck Sanremo as well. Rapper Emis Killa decided to remove himself from the show following his alleged links to mafia. What do you mean?
Miss Jackson.
So basically there was an anti-mafia investigation involving AC Milan and Inter Milan ultra leaders that has resulted in 19 arrests at the time of these news getting announced. Emis was also banned from attending football matches for 3 years by Milan police after a violent incident at a football match. So this was insane. He also gave a statement in which he said that he found out about the investigation through the newspapers. He also said that because of this turmoil, he was not going to participate at Sanremo. So far from what I was able to gather, he has not been charged with anything, but you gotta admit, having a contestant withdraw because of his alleged links to Italian mafia is kind of crazy.
It's kinda crazy.
We have one less country to tackle, and let's just say that this curse was so effective that the country withdrew as a whole. Moldova is going to be our last spot because a lot happened during Etapa Nacional, and it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen during my time as a Eurovision fan. Let's start with Eblanche Band with O Moldova Mea Draga. This was a very interesting one. Basically, Eblanche Band is not really a real band to begin with. It's a group of Ukrainian pranksters that used AI to generate a song and a cover for it, and then submitted it to Etapa Nacional. and made it to the shortlist. Then they withdrew because, well, they are not real. The reasons they cited, though, girl... They said it was because one of their members was hospitalized in Romania. That same member is apparently the girl whose photo one of the members kept posting on Twitter, claiming that she will, quote, bang your house. Whatever that means.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, Jane.
Dan Alexandrov was another one who chose to withdraw. His song I Can't Escape was actually kind of good, and he is a pretty big name, having a YouTube channel with 200,000 subscribers. I'm low-key jealous. Please subscribe to the channel so I can one-up him.
Have you ever tried this?
But as for the reasons for his absence, I literally couldn't find anything about it. Like, actually, nothing. He just did not show up to Etapa Națională, and that's the end of the story. Another one of these mysterious withdrawals included Anna G, who I also couldn't find anything on, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Moldova also managed to get a disqualification as well, in the form of Valeria. Her song was actually quite nice, but she showed up 20 minutes late to the audition and was not allowed to perform in the show as a result. The interesting thing is that apparently the production team encouraged artists to not be on time if they had later stage times in the past.
2 years in a row they said, you can come later because you're last. And this year apparently they changed the rules. If you come even 1 minute or 10 minutes later, you're disqualified. So because I arrived 20 minutes later, I am disqualified.
This is not good. Why are you saying this?
The funnier thing about this, though, is that immediately people started commenting on her social media that she should go to San Marino instead. She tried to apply and made it to the casting list for the San Marino Song Contest, but she obviously didn't win it, so that's kind of where the story ended. And now, the big one. Moldova decided to withdraw from the Eurovision Song Contest after the live auditions were held. And listen, yes, they were a mess, and I kinda understand. The representatives of the Moldovan broadcaster listed a couple reasons for the withdrawal. They said that decision was made followed a detailed analysis of the current situation as well as the economic, administrative and artistic challenges. They have apparently spoken to music professionals and gathered that Etapa Națională just doesn't work and doesn't attract artists because there's no guarantee of a good show production. Also, the domestic interest in Moldova has fallen drastically in the last couple of years, and as a result, TRM, the Moldovan broadcaster, decided to withdraw from the contest as a whole. However, on the good side of things, the head of the Eurovision Moldovan delegation stated that the country is gonna return with newly found force. Well, this was really sad for me. I think that that last sentence I just said is really promising. This national final was never going to work out in the long run, and ultimately I think that this decision was a correct one. I really want to see a Moldovan renaissance in Eurovision, and I hope it happens soon. I am really looking forward to their return, hopefully next year, with that new energy I just mentioned.
And clap!
And with that, this is the time for me to wrap this video up. I wanted to have the craziest story of the year be last in the video, but I also did want to end on a positive note because we can be almost fully certain that we are gonna see Moldova again. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this really weird deep dive into Eurovision 2025 curse of withdrawals and disqualifications. I love you so much. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it around, comment. I'm gonna see you very, very soon. Take care and see you next Thursday. Bye.
Ungrateful bastard! You vote some ugly people from Finland that don't even have a real makeup artist, and you don't vote me because I'm not, I'm not a slut from Holland, and I'm not a ugly fucking old bitch from Sweden, and clap.